Good evening. It is day 8 of the 90-day public speaking challenge. Today's title is called Name Dropping. I've noticed that we have a tendency to name drop when we want to feel a connection to someone. We cite the people that we know that may very well be in common with the other person in the conversation. And we do that in order to create a deeper connection. But often it's more of a shallow connection based on our own interests and what can we get from name dropping that will help us along the way. So it benefits ourselves, and at the same time, it also pumps up our own sense of self-importance. It came to a head earlier this week. It might have been Wednesday when a speaking client that I'm coaching mentioned a number of names. And I said, oh, I know them. Oh, yes, I've met them. Oh, yes, good people all around. But it was not to enhance their credibility as much as it was to enhance my credibility. And I stopped and thought, maybe I'm going about this all wrong. My client was suitably impressed that I knew them, but I didn't need to do it, and I felt kind of slimy afterwards because my client had trusted me enough to say, hey, you are the guy that I want coaching me on my speech. And I responded and said, yeah, I know these other important people. So what if we stopped doing that in context and perhaps paid more of attention oh boy, and perhaps stopped in those contexts and made a more concerted effort to focus on the people who are right in front of us. That way, we're doing exactly what we need to do in order to help our clients. Thank you, Rich Hopkins. I see you. I see you. And later, perhaps, maybe we should stop dropping names in general to create those shallower impressions or those shallower connections. And maybe we should do something that I would like to call name lifting. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with our clients, but we all know people who are in pain. We all know people who are hurting. And maybe we need to do more about establishing a deeper connection with those folks, and maybe we need to lift them up more to have a stronger credibility for our relationships with them, and also to let our friends know that we hear them and we understand that they may be in pain, or they may be going through a rough time, or someone close to them may be doing that. I'm not going to get into the religious aspects of name lifting. Some people would call it prayer, some people would call it positive energy. But what if we turned our focus back to other people and lifted them up when they're hurting? I know that I always feel good when somebody comes to me and says, hey, I was thinking about you today. Because it's a truly random event when somebody says, hey, you came across my mind. I picked up the phone and I decided to call you up. And that matters. I have become a bit of an introvert for the last 13 years because of my job with Procter & Gamble. And when somebody says, I'm thinking about you, it does mean something to me. Are there people in your life that you could lift up? Are there people in your life whose names you could lift? And if so, do that. Maybe do it in the privacy of your home. Send me a PM and say, hey, lift my buddy up. You don't have to give me any details. You don't have to tell me anything about that. But I could say just as easily that it is Rich's friend or Chiquita's friend or Michelle's friend or Laura's friend who just needs to be lifted up. And maybe because we're thinking about them, they'll feel a little bit better too. This is day 8. Sometimes I experience moments of cowardice before I go live because I don't know exactly what I'm going to say. But it's been a week and I'm still here. My God, I've got 84 more days to go. That's 12 weeks for you and me. I look forward to talking to you again soon tomorrow. Sayonara.